I run the model, and let's look at this. So now I'm going to change, let me change this graph to be from the access card. I'll change this to be the chassis. And what you'll see is that, in fact, let me draw another one. Let's just look at the units. Graph draw installed. So let's look at all of them together. Access card and chassis. Let's look at the installed units first. So I've got, these are my cards. I started with 25 access cards and it gradually increases over time. At the moment, STEM thinks it's okay to have 5 chassis.
Mm-hmm.
And it thinks it's okay to have 15 chassis by the end. What have I forgotten to do?
The 5. No. I think it's using the wrong approach. The reason is that we are supposed to have chassis in all the sites at the same time.
Right. Indeed. So at the moment, what STEM knows is that the cards are in different places. It doesn't know the chassis are.
We have not related them to the location.
Yeah. So basically, in principle, this could be a virtual chassis in a data center somewhere. We haven't told it that it is actually co-located. So exactly as you say, I need to connect the location to the access chassis. To save time, I will set that one to extended Monte Carlo as well. I run it again. And now it looks a bit more sensible. I start off with 25 chassis, and for a long time, that's enough. And then it figures out that at just a few locations, I'm going to end up needing one more chassis.
A question, if you can go to the diagram.
Yeah.
I was thinking that the chassis should rather be at that rather need location.
Say it again?
I was thinking that the chassis, the resource access chassis require the location.
What, to actually define where the locations are?
Yeah, I was thinking the arrow should go in the other way around. That is I was thinking.
Yeah,
I
can understand why you would think that, but the instinct that I have with this is that it's always a question of what is the thing which needs the next thing, and that should be the way the driver goes. So the driver is clearly customers need cards need chassis. So in terms of the capacity dimension, it's absolutely that way.
Okay.
And then I understand why you might think, well, doesn't the chassis determine the locations? But it doesn't really, because you can have more than one chassis at a point of presence. You know, if you happen to need 6 cards in a given point of presence, then you're going to need another chassis, end of, and it doesn't mean you've got more points of presence.
Okay, got it.
So to answer your question, what would drive the location? Actually, if we have more time, you could say, well, that might be part of your marketing plan. You might choose not to launch service at 25 points of presence simultaneously because it's too expensive. You might choose to maybe launch at the first 5 and then do another 5 and then do another 5, because it would spread your capex.
Yeah.
But again, I'm keeping this simple.
Okay.
All right. So with that correction made, then, as I say, we start off with, at the beginning, we have one chassis with one card at each site. And over time, according to which sites are the hottest, we end up with more cards at some locations. We end up with 74 cards, which is about 10 more than the minimum that you could have if they were all in one place. And we end up with just a few locations with more than one chassis. And the point is that we're not being specific about exactly where they are. We don't care whether it's we don't care whether it's location 18 or location 22, which has the extra ones. We're simply saying that across our business, we understand that somewhere there are going to be a few places where we need more than one chassis. And that's basically as much detail as we're attempting to do. If we had all the time in the world, we could model them individually, but that's really not what I'm trying to teach you today.
Okay.